Hi friends, you're watching Web Dunia English. This is Runa Ashish and today we are going to meet Mikey McClearly. Basically, he's a musician from New Zealand. He has been in India and stayed here for quite a long time, but right now he is in New Zealand and we are connecting. He is basically the brain behind the music of latest release, Four More Shots Season 2 and even Season 1. He has given music to the films like Margherita with Straw, Waiting, and The Sky is Pink. So let's get connected. Okay. Hi, Mikey. How are you?
Hey there, this is Mikey McClearly here for a video selfie interview.
Okay, Mikey, tell me something about the music of Four More Shots Season 2.
As you know, it's just come out. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and I hope you're enjoying the music. It's I guess a development from season 1, and in season 1 the whole world of the characters and the world of the music was all set up and established, and within that world there's a lot of songs, there's a lot of music that sounds like it could be from international artists. There's also obviously background score and everything, and in parts trying to get a bit of a flavor of that would suit South Bombay. But when we move into season 2, we have there's more drama. The character arcs get a bit more sort of interesting for the characters. So that I think is coming through with maybe a bit more intensity in the music. But yeah, right through, we try what we're trying to do is, and I say we because the music has been created by me and my team of people who I've collaborated with. What we've tried to do is that we've tried to represent what the main characters would probably listen to as well, the sort of music that they'd listen to. So every now and then there's a bit of sort of Bollywood or more traditional styles, a bit more sort of that might be folk, Hindustani folk influence. But the main sound throughout is sort of this kind of international sounds, singer-songwriter sort of a zone. So yeah, it's a development from season 1, and yeah, check out the album for season 2.
Okay, Mikey, please tell me something about your music label.
Bay Music House is my recently opened company, which is a music hub for collaboration for artists, for composers. The whole idea is to have a number of in-house composers and also freelance composers that come in for projects as well. The initial sort of foundation for it is set up in the advertising world. So we're creating a lot of music for advertising, but now we're also doing a lot for web series and also for film. And yeah, basically it's all about collaboration. So I find and nurture up and coming talent. We collaborate. They have ideas, I have ideas, and we sort of get to a place which I think is interesting and fresh, because obviously up and coming talent have a lot of new ideas and fresh ideas, and I guess I have a lot of experience in terms of what is required for, or what's needed for a client and or a director, and so yeah, so the whole idea is and the vision for it is to grow and to be able to even provide really good music for things that are happening outside of India, around the world, so this hub of music creation. Now we're also starting off as a label, so the first release on our label is coming up soon. So very much interested in the whole indie side of things as well, but the foundation in terms of of the organization is sort of resting on providing music for advertising, which of course is a way to support all the costs that are involved.
Okay, and do you agree that music can heal anything on this earth, especially when we are in this condition and COVID-19 is there around?
I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily something I would say, that music can heal any pain. It's a personal thing. Both pain is personal and music is personal, and I think that for certain people They can take a lot of solace in music, in art, in literature. So these are all things that are important. But let's not kid ourselves and think that we're doing something as artists that is akin or similar to a doctor or nurse or essential workers in a time like this. Those are the people who are really saving us. So I wouldn't necessarily agree with the statement, but I do know that we can take a lot of solace from art, from creating art, and from appreciating art.
Mikey, what do you have to say about Hindustani classical music or Hindustani folk music?
But what I will say is that I've never studied Hindustani folk or classical styles. I was born in India. I had some of my childhood in India, and I've been living here for a while. So obviously, I absorb a lot. But I like absorbing from everywhere. So I think there are elements of it that come through in some of the compositions that I do. I don't. I think to be able to do something like to be good at on any instrument, or to sing in Hindustani classical or any Indian classical style is a lifetime of dedication, which hats off to people who master it. I think it's amazing, and I certainly don't know a lot about it, but I love the fact that I've had that influence, and here and there in my music have been able to incorporate it.
How's the environment around you? You and your family, are they safe? How is it around?
I've been living in India for quite a while. Before that, I was living in London. And also I spend a lot of time in New York as well. New Zealand is, as you may have heard, doing pretty well in terms of this time and trying to eradicate COVID-19. I think it's one of the few countries that has a chance to actually go down to no cases. And my sister, in fact, is one of the people who is tracking where it goes, from contacts, and so it's interesting talking to her about how they're sort of just isolating it and stopping the chain of COVID passing on. So it's my family's fine there. Everybody's doing more or less the same thing that we're doing here in India, which is just staying home. But I think that it's an optimistic outlook right now for New Zealand.
Okay, Mikey, please tell me, do you feel do you face any kind of language barrier?
Barriers I face all the time, and that can be frustrating. I work out what lyrics mean, but I'm not fluent in Hindi. I've kind of got toddler level Hindi, but it's interesting. I think sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing when I don't understand the words. I'm listening to things purely from a sound and musical point of view, and maybe not taking something too literally. So if I was redoing a song, or if I was doing a new song and the lyrics said that the beautiful young lady walks by with bells on her ankles, jingling or something like that, then if I was focusing a lot on the lyrics, then I would do the obvious thing and put jingles into the music. But that's just a silly example of because I'm not understanding the words fully or not focusing on the words fully, I might do something really unexpected instead of doing the obvious thing. I'm very grateful to the music industry and film industry. I think the volume of work, my work ethic has become very instinctive and very fast. I think that the turnarounds and the deliveries are quite tight in India, and I like that. I like that you get a job and you go for it, and you have to go with your instincts and finish it and move on. That's been a good work ethic, rather than going over and over something and revisiting it and taking a long time. So yeah, I'll always be very grateful to the industry here and how it works.
Okay, Mikey, now please tell me your old and new favorite singer.
So my favorite old singer. This is such a hard question. I'm gonna say Louis Armstrong. Nobody's voice sounds like that. It's so unique, and it's like a different instrument. It's almost not like a voice. I love the sound of his voice. There are so many other songs, so many other singers who I love as well. But and this is of course just singers. I'm not talking about songwriters, because then that would be a completely different list of people. And the favorite new singer, this could be a tie for me between Adele and Amy Winehouse. If you consider them to be new singers, I do. Those two, their voices do something to me, and the sort of songs that they sing as well. So that's it. That's the end of the interview. Thank you for listening, and you take care. Bye.
Thanks a lot, Mikey.